There are indictments. There's audio tape of him with classified documents, sharing them with people who didn't have that security clearance. Does any of that bother you? No, I think they've been after him so long that all of this is just a witch hunt, like he described it. I don't think there's anything Trump's done wrong. I think that the desperate opposition is just after him. I mean, they started out, and they've been after him 8 different ways, and they're going to keep after him until they can get him in jail, I think.
That's a clean burning hell, I tell you what.
Is there anything that could happen with him indictment-wise that would say, all right, maybe this disqualifies him for president? Not for me. I'm with him to the finish. All right, thank you so much. He could stand on the front steps of the White House and commit murder, and I'm with him.
So what I found interesting about that video is, on one hand, when he's referring to the Trump indictments, he's kind of repeating what he's heard in right-wing media about how there's no there there, these indictments mean nothing, there's no there there, there's no evidence of him engaging in any wrongdoing, there's no there there. And I do think that that statement is the product of his media filter bubble. However, with that said, he also admits that if Trump committed murder, he would still support him. And so that goes against, what my belief is in regard to most Trump supporters who just, it's not that they support his criminality, it's just that they don't believe his criminality to be true. But in this particular case, clearly this supporter doesn't really care too much about potential criminality or if he literally committed murder, which blows my mind.
So first of all, not all Republicans think that way. And so it's easy to say, okay, they're all the same.
That's you. That's what you sound like.
And which, by the way, they think of us too, right? So I'm being fair. Number two, I understand where they're going with the double standard. They say, look, you're telling me Trump broke all these laws, but then you've got all these other politicians who are corrupt and nobody ever says anything about them. And they're not wrong about that. And then the most corrupt people on earth are your mainstream Republicans and Democrats, and mainstream media can't find anything wrong with them. Just can't find it, right? But finally, guys, this is the part I hate saying, but it comes screaming through when you watch all the interviews. Why do you like Trump? Why do you like Trump? And the answer always comes back to, he's like us. He's America. He protects us. They don't mean all of America. They mean them.
It's easy to say, okay, they're all the same.
Okay, and it's glaringly obvious. Every time you ask details, they have no details.
Well, let's go to a video. Let's go to a video where he's asked to elaborate. That very same individual, he's asked to elaborate on what it is that he likes about Donald Trump. So let's watch.
Well, he's got 2 good boys that are hunters, and he stands for American values is what I love about him. I just think he's one of us. I know he's very rich, but he has our values, and has our back. He's for us, he loves this country, and I'm gonna support him to the end. I hope he wins, we need him.
Yeah, unfortunately, that doesn't make this situation any better. So I'll give you my point of view. When he says, hey, I like that his boys are hunters. I don't. I think that those guys massacred those poor defenseless animals. But that's in prelude to, okay, you like hunters, that's your business. I don't. I think that those guys massacred those poor defenseless animals. It's not my business, okay? It is what it is. And so that's a fine reason to like them. And even though I disagree. Washington, they're from, all the other guys are from Washington and they're corrupted by Washington. That's a totally fair point, okay? But if you wanted to pound Trump, I don't. I think that those guys massacred those poor defenseless animals. You'd pound him on his corruption.
That's so gay. Totally gay.
Now the bad stuff. He has our values, does he? What's your values? I mean, you don't mean family values. He's raw dogging porn stars.
Raw dogging some randoms.
He's raw dogging porn stars.
And he's
raw dogging.
Says terrible things, does terrible things. You don't mean family values. So what values are you talking about? Oh, he believes in putting parents in charge of children.
That means I don't like gay people. Raw dogging.
I'm sorry, that's what it means.
That means he wants to be able to make a decision or help.
A decision about what?
He doesn't want schools making decisions
about
for
what?
his kids.
About gay people. And racism, right? He doesn't want racism. Those are the two issues, Anna. Those are the two issues in the schools.
Those are not the two issues, okay?
About gay people. But if you wanted to pound Trump and racism.
Raw dogging.
One of the issues that you're totally downplaying right now, not even mentioning.
That means I don't like gay people.
I think there are issues there. There's no there there. I think there are issues there. There's no there there.
Okay,
and I do not begrudge parents for being concerned about that.
First of all, not all Republicans think that. It's easy to say, okay, they're all the same about gay people. But if you wanted to pound Trump and racism.
Raw dogging.
Anna, I agree with you. But you are finding a sliver of an issue. That all that guy knows, and what 98% of them know is, I don't like them teaching about gay people in school, okay?
Raw dogging.
I don't like them teaching about gay people in school, okay? But if you wanted to pound Trump, first of all, not all Republicans think that. It's easy to say, okay, they're all the same about gay people. But if you wanted to pound Trump and racism.
Raw dogging.
There's no there there.
And I don't like them saying, oh, we were racist back to slavery and Jim Crow and redlining. Come on, we know what it means. And then when he says open borders, there aren't actually open borders. What he's saying is, I don't like Latino immigrants. They don't look like me. I don't like them. That's my values. It's easy to say, okay, they're all the same.
Sorry. Republicans, I wish you were better.
Hardcore MAGA never, ever, ever, ever going to turn on Trump. Why? Because he is them. He is them. They see him, they're like,
That guy's just as racist as I am.
I like it. I like it.
I like it.
All of them say, he's like us. It's easy to say, okay, they're all the same. They don't mean all of us. They mean, and when you ask them about the issues, they always go to.
I don't like Latinos, I mean immigrants. I don't like gay people, I mean, I want parental control in schools. So that's the reality, you can see it all over the tapes.
That is your interpretation. None of that was actually said. It is what you have taken out of his statements there. There's no there there.
You're right.
You're right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
All right,
and hey, by the way,
just
guys.
admit that.
Anna, okay, look, we have a different interpretation.
Okay.
We have a different, I saw
Look,
the tape.
I don't agree.
I've seen 100 tapes.
I don't agree with that guy. Let me be clear about that, okay? But putting words in his mouth, I think is unnecessary. You can actually address what he said there without extrapolating and implying that he said something that he didn't actually say there. There's no there there. Just straight up said, you just totally disregarded everything he said.
No, I didn't. I went exactly on what he said.
You boiled it down to, he's just racist. That's what you boiled it down to.
Because that is what he's saying.
Okay, that's your interpretation of it.
What do you think? There's a lovely interpretation of open borders and these goddamn immigrants coming in?
They genuinely think there are open borders. Okay, anyway, whatever.
And then what's the open borders do? What does it do? What does it do? Does it take our jobs? It doesn't take our jobs.
They think drug traffickers and MS-13 are pouring into the country and causing crime and violence and threatening their lives. That's what they think because that is what they hear in the media.
So that is fair. So they're scared. So Anna makes a good point. On the other hand, why does it work? If you said, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, all these white people are coming in from Pennsylvania to Ohio and they're dangerous, it wouldn't work. Oh
that doesn't even make any sense.
Right? The guy hears, oh, dangerous Latinos coming in with the crime and the drugs.
Oh, dangerous Latinos coming in with the crime and the drugs.
It doesn't look like it used to. Things aren't the way they used to be. Oh, you.
Now these sons of bitches have equality.
Oh, dangerous Latinos coming in with the crime and the drugs.
We don't want equality.
All of them say, he's like us. He's like us. He's like us.
It doesn't look like it used to. Things aren't the way they used to be.
Dangerous Latinos coming in with the crime and the drugs.
Okay, anyway, whatever.
There have been countless conspiracy theories about Disney parks, and one of the most notorious ones has to do with an animatronic figure of Donald Trump in Disney World that looks suspiciously like Hillary Clinton.
And according to a former Imagineer, that's because it actually was. So we got to take a look at the images of the animatronic Trump. Looks a little like Hillary Clinton, no?
And I was like, no, but wait a minute.
No, so here's what happened. Okay, so the Trump figure was located in Walt Disney World at the Hall of Presidents attraction, which sound like I can't believe they even have this attraction. Like,
so I don't think it's fair to call this an attraction.
I know, yeah, and it has, it does feature animatronics of every United States president, so that's great. So in previous years, the Hall of Fame President's attraction would have to be shut down for a few months after a presidential election so they can build the animatronic figure, right? But in 2016, they're like, we don't even need to shut down for a few months. We know who's gonna win. It's gonna be Hillary. Rullahaven, it's gonna be Hillary. Rullahaven, it's gonna be Hillary. So they build the Hillary animatronic, and then election night happens. And heads explode, right? Of course, Hillary Clinton didn't win, so the artists had to cover up the mistakes as best they could. And the best they could apparently wasn't good enough, because as soon as it was unveiled, people started questioning whether it was meant to be Donald Trump in the first place.
Yeah. Ironically, Trump's robot is trans.
That looks like an image that would only appear in one of my nightmares.
Yeah, I know, a combination of Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump, boy. Okay, no offense, but geez. Anyways.
I mean, the chin, I think, is a giveaway, and the eyebrows. The coloring is obviously different. They're like, I don't know, let's just spray paint it orange and put a wig on it, and maybe it'll look like Trump. That's all we need to do.
They are super creepy and should not exist to begin with, let alone of presidents, let alone of hybrid presidents.
Can we just quickly discuss how creepy the Chuck E. Cheese animatronics are?
Please, no!
But all those guys moved away from that because they realized it's counterproductive. We're scaring the children, okay? But some people never get the memo, and apparently Disney and Chuck E. Cheese are among them. Both mice.
Maybe that's what's
think
behind
about it. Okay, this is a mice problem. Okay, well
we smell a rat.
Oh, that's it.
All right.
I'm not gonna say anything else.
No, it's too good. It was too good.
And scene.
It's gonna be Hillary. Rullahaven, it's gonna be Hillary.
I hate everything he does with his horns. Get it fucking off, man. Jesus fucking Christ. Oh.
before we do anything else today, I wanted to take a minute out to talk to you guys about what kind of show and network we are, because apparently that some people are questioning it.
Here, I'll name a name. Lance from the Surfs. He's on here all the time on the Power Panel, right? And he comes out and does this like video about how he's so correct and oh yeah, the Young Turks, correct? No, Lance, you're not goddamn correct. Nobody elected you. The polling shows no one agrees with you. Your 12 buddies online. I don't care.
So we're not going to pop out of a cake in a couple of days and go ta-da! Right-wing pivot. We laid a 21-year bear trap for you guys so that at the end we could do a right-wing pivot and then lose our entire audience. The people are like,
you guys are grifters. You are denying your audience what they want.
Wait, how would that be a grift? And so I want you to understand it. We're allowing for discussion and debate and disagreements. Now, a lot of people don't want that. But unfortunately, at this point, there are some forces that say no. There should be no discussion. There is a correct opinion, and everyone should be forced to have that correct opinion.
Lance from the Surfs and say, oh yeah, I'm 100%, he's 99.95% correct. Oh, I'm gonna correct him. No.
Or they should be canceled or fired, or no one should watch them, or all these other consequences that flow from that. By the way, they could prove me wrong. They could say,
oh yeah? I don't agree with the left on this, and this, and see, nobody canceled me, everybody's fine.
Now they're gonna do try benign things like,
oh yeah, well I like orange more than I like yellow.
No. Give me real disagreements. You're not gonna do it, are you? Because you're worried. Well, we are gonna do it on this network. I hire people who disagree with me. And then and then you guys know that recently someone who we liked and really supported, etc., decided to call me an evil person, a racist, a transphobe, pathetic, embarrassing, all these terrible things. And then they quit. And after they quit, they say, I quit because this guy who runs the company won't agree with me. But sister, I platformed you. I said, here's a platform, go for it. And not only can you say anything you want, you can say something that totally and utterly disagrees with me. Not good enough. Is that a standard? That everyone has to agree with just one of the hosts? Well, if that's the standard and two hosts disagree, what am I gonna do?
Get the fuck out!
They're like, how dare you, right? But if you want to have a real conversation, an honest conversation, there's one place in media.
Betweer.
And by the way, it doesn't matter if people yell at me. I've been through it 100 times. Everyone here knows we've been through it 100 times, right? And every time, oh, Jimmy Dore is right. Oh, Sam Harris is right. And then later, oops, yeah, they're totally wrong. Oh, Tulsi Gabbard, oops, Young Turks were right again. Oops. But do they learn anything from that? No. And do I change how we conduct things? No. I do not give in to the pressure, but I also do not go in the other direction. Oh, you hurt my feelings. So from now on, I'm going to be against gay rights or trans rights. No, we will not do that under any circumstance. I don't care if some trans people or anyone in any leftist community yells at me. You think I'm gonna betray Latinos because somebody's telling me that I'm against Latinos because I said I don't believe that Latinx is the proper term? I'm never gonna do that. No, I'm gonna fight for Latinos. I'm gonna fight for African Americans. I'm gonna fight for all of these communities. And you might have seen online, oh, here's a tweet there. Here's a video, like a 5-second clip or a 12-second clip over there. Okay, oh my God, oh, I hear they're right-wingers. Okay, and they said, no, because not everyone at the company agrees with me. You guys are transphobes, racist, etc. And how dare you disagree? That's it, we're out. And they said, no, because not everyone at the company agrees with me. You guys are transphobes, racist, etc. And how dare you disagree? That's it, we're out. And look, if you're in that camp and you say, hey, 5% disagreement, too much. I can't handle it. I need something else. Again, all the power in the world to you. Some people are convinced that they're political geniuses. and they like to lean into fighting on the wrong ones, right? And they say, oh, politics doesn't matter. Well, you want to win elections so they don't pass bills against you. In my opinion, you're saying, I won't tolerate 1% disagreement, 2%, 5%, whatever number you want to put on. I won't tolerate it. I want a show that agrees with me all the time on everything, okay? Well, I don't like that we lose in well, I don't like it either. So we should have better framing. I don't want to do better framing. I want to be maximalist. Okay, but you're not gonna win that way. I just want to call them transphobes, racist. I want to call them names. And I think that's a brilliant political strategy because that's gonna win them over. Sorry, but you're wrong.
Here, I'll name a name. Lance from the Surfs. He's on here all the time on the power panel, right? And he comes out and does this like video about how he's so correct and oh yeah, the Young Turks, correct? No, Lance, you're not goddamn correct. Nobody elected you. The polling shows no one agrees with you. Your 12 buddies online. I don't care.
But you're wrong.
What the rock? Is.
If you can't read between the lines, the conclusion that one draws is that condoms are kind of gay. Okay. 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 Okay.
Piece of shit! Start, mother.
To put it as bluntly as possible, okay?
Condoms are kinda gay. That's the expert commentary that you can hear by Michael Knowles. Now, what? Now, I don't know how to respond to that. What?
Maybe you like condoms, maybe you don't like condoms. I don't know where you're gonna find that in the Constitution. I think a lot of people are beginning to notice that the contraceptive mentality is the beginning of the pride mentality. Because the contraceptive mentality divorces sex from the consequences of sex. It introduces a sterile sexual ethic, which is exactly what gave us the pride movement. There's no distinction here. If you can't read between the lines, the conclusion that one draws is that condoms are kind of gay. Okay. Okay.
People are beginning to realize, okay, if I don't like this insane anarchistic view of sex that is totally self-centered and divorced from any ends whatsoever, well then maybe I gotta rewind it and ask, well, what is the point of sex? Which is why it's not gonna be the patriarchy that's coming for your consequence-free birth control. It's not going to be the men. The men, frankly, are huge supporters of birth control and contraception because it allows them to have consequence-free sex. It's gonna be those conservative women. That's who's coming for it.
Doubt it. Why engage in this narcissistic act if you're not trying to procreate? Pleasure! Pleasure!
Pleasure! Pleasure!
I'm not a religious person. However,
pleasure! Pleasure!
Go ahead.
Okay, so look, there's two core issues here. That's a massive difference between the right wing and the left wing. And this clarifies things. And why I think no rational person could be a right winger.
So there, I said it, catch feelings.
So number one, they genuinely now are making arguments about contraception. He's not at all kidding. Like there was that little chuckle of like,
oh, condoms are kind of gay, ha ha ha.
Okay.
But no, he said, to put it bluntly, he absolutely means it. I watched the whole segment.
God help me.
And he makes a case, and you saw it there. And this is what he said it in such a like blur, and the right wing's
like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So let me break it down for you so you understand how asinine it is.
Pleasure! Pleasure!
Condoms are equivalent to a sterile sexual ethic, and so is gay sex, because it does not lead to procreation. They're both sterile, okay?
Pleasure! Pleasure!
And so is gay sex. They're both pointless sex just for pleasure, so they're both wrong. For the right wing, he is saying the only sex that should be allowed, presumably, is for a purpose, the purpose of procreating pleasure. Pleasure. And so is gay sex and creating children. To which I say, you must be nuts.
You know,
the 1200s called, they'd like to have their opinion back. You must be nuts.
Look, to be fair, Cenk, I mean, don't you believe that a married couple should immediately cease to engage in intercourse? Pleasure. Pleasure. After the woman goes through menopause.
And so is gay sex.
I mean, why? I mean, what kind of sick couple? What kind of sick married couple would engage in pleasure? Pleasure.
And so is gay sex.
Coital activity. After the woman can no longer get pregnant, how dare they?
You must be nuts.
Prison with all of them. Now, of course, he's not asking for prison, but like.
Hey, Michael Knowles, Daily Wire, right wing. If that's the political hill you want to die on, have at it, Hoss. All right, go convince 99% of women that contraception is immoral and should be banned.
No, I want him to keep talking.
Please, please make our day.
Yes.
Keep talking, moron of morons. You must be nuts. Pleasure. Pleasure. And so is gay sex. And by the way, why is he doing this? Because it's such an absurd point. No one in America believes it. Only these radical lunatics believe it. He does it because
I'm gonna get attention. Matt Walsh has the anti-trans niche covered, and he got really famous off of that. I want to be famous too. I'll be the dumbest one. I'm against all contraception. I think condoms are gay.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Look, we're covering it. Hey, look at how dumb this guy is. And a lot of right wingers are going,
Well, yeah, the stereosexual thing, I think I don't want that. And yeah, and again, I don't like gay people. And the condoms bother me. I think he's right. Like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
or I use it, but I'm evil because Michael Knowles said I'm evil because I have not anachronistic.
Coital activity.
Anarchistic sex. Okay.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, by the way, that doesn't sound too bad. I mean,
I like sex with lots and lots of rules and regulations.
And only for procreation. But there is a religious contingent in this country, including some Democrats, who go, no, the sex should be done by my rules. And my rules say only for procreation. And none of them actually believe this, but they go, yeah, we should. We should ban other people from having fun sex.
All right.
Sex for just fun? No, okay?
All right, Frank, that's enough.
So yeah, they're not gonna win on this issue, but they're gonna keep going and they're gonna try to convince religious people.
Your religion should rule everyone.
Okay, and sorry, I don't agree, and I'm gonna fight you 2,000%. This guy, back when he was trying to be an actor and trying to be famous, he was like, yeah, gay sex and contraception and wild sex, I'm here for it. And now that he's a loser, total failure in life, and he couldn't be famous with that. Now he's like,
I think condoms are bad. I think sex is bad because I'm not having any. So I mean, it's like, no, it's bad, only for procreation. I'm gonna rule all of your lives with my BS, totally made up, totally hypocritical principles. So I mean.
Your religion should rule everyone. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Pleasure. Listen, the point that I'm trying to make here is coital activity. Look, I'm a real slut. It's just.
So you have it in your place?
I have it all over my place.
How is that even possible?
Because I'm a professional.
Well,
John.
then maybe you can do it for me.
I will. I'd love to. I enjoy it. Coital activity. Look, I'm a real slut.
And what made you a slut?
Pleasure.
The president's only primary opponents are Marianne Williamson and Robert F. Kennedy Jr. Haven't been any rumors about anyone else even thinking about jumping in. Will you be supporting Joe Biden for re-election?
I believe given that field, yes.
In an interview with Jon Favreau, Now, right before Favreau asked AOC about whether or not she'd endorse Biden, he also asked her to explain her thoughts on Biden's time as president so far. So look, Cenk, on one hand, I want to be fair, right? So I don't begrudge her for that, right?
I do, but okay.
Okay, so going. There's that. So I'm just trying to be fair in parsing out what she's saying there.
And so she's, in my opinion, purposely misidentifying the problem. So that's an enormous issue right there. Secondly, did Biden do a good enough job? Come on, guys. No, I don't want progressives joining in gaslighting us. Remember when progressives said $15 minimum wage was a layup and that their buddy Joe Biden was definitely going to pass it? He goes, I don't know about 15, it's gonna be hard to do it, because he was lying.
You can't say that in Washington. That is a powerful elite person. And at the head of our beloved party, the party matters so much more than the voters. Who cares about the voters or the policies? The party must be protected.
No, he didn't do it. He was never gonna do it. Paid family leave, does the public want it? Is it challenging, is it difficult? No, it's super easy. 84% of Americans want it. All you have to do is be strong. 74% of Republican voters want it. Republicans, why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing what 3/4 of your voters want? And take it to the Republicans. No.
Oh no, I can't fight the Republicans.
Filibuster.
Get out of here.
Biden doesn't want to do it. Look, I'm sorry, man. If you still don't get that, all right, well.
84%?
And AOC is supposed to be the leading fighter of progressives in the House. She's like, oh yeah, good enough. No, I'm sorry, not remotely good enough. Hey, Bernie Sanders, AOC, all of these progressives in Congress, what did you get for your endorsement of Biden this early? Yeah, I'll let you take a minute with that. Oh, right, you were supposed to ask for something. Elementary politics. They're constantly giving away their leverage, their power, everything. Just give it away, give it away, give it away. I'm sorry, but that's the reality. Where are you? Where's the goddamn fight? And I gave them every opportunity. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Nothing. Marianne Williamson is definitely a better candidate than Joe Biden. But that's heresy in Washington, heresy. Because if you say it,
then the serious elite people, especially in the press, will not take you seriously. There you are. No. There you are. No. It has to be a politician. It has to be one that's been around for 50 years, because experience of doing nothing is the most important thing.
No deal. If this is the answer, we're screwed, man. We need some massive game changer in American politics, because apparently the folks we sent in, they're not even fighting anymore.
Cenk.
What are we doing here, Papa?
Off Benny. Shout out to you.
Thank you.
Great show.
Great guy. Never met him.
Yeah.
Out Benny, out Benny, to mix this up, mash this up, out Benny, mash this up in his TYT mashups, which are very entertaining, and I highly recommend you watch it. Out Benny, out Benny.